That was Beyonce, Before I Let Go. So before Republicans let go of power, they will resort to all kinds of things to hold on to it. They don't care if members of their party have been accused of consorting with white nationalists. They don't care if members of their party have been accused and been demonstrated to be involved in a plot to overthrow the government and thwart the will of the people. They don't care that Russia was involved in our government. They don't care that districts are gerrymandered. They don't care that the right to vote is being infringed on. And now you know why. It is to control the courts, particularly the highest court in the land. Isn't it interesting that one of the objections from the right during the confirmation hearing of Ketanji Brown Jackson was that she was an activist. She would be an activist. Look at potentially what has happened now if the reports are true. They have acted actively to repeal a law, to take back something that was in place. Since 1973, Roe vs. Wade, they have actively sought to overturn that. And that is what happens. Men and women who know that their way of governance is not working, that their numbers are shrinking, that they are a smaller and smaller minority, have decided to own the courts. It's not the Game of Thrones, it's the game of courts. That's why they gerrymander districts so they can be safe. That's why they need the Electoral College. They could never win. Even with the Electoral College, Republicans have only won the general election. They haven't won the general election in over 30 years. 30. Because they know that their way of life does not work generally. But they don't need it to work because they will control the courts. One thing about Donald Trump that he did for them, that they will not argue, don't care how, what else he did wrong, he gave them judges. A lot of them. A lot of young, very unqualified judges. Amy Coney Barrett was put in that office despite no judicial experience and confirmed by the Senate with 2 weeks before the election because they wanted this result. They wanted to take the rights away. And you best believe this is true. They're not only going to stop there, look for things for affirmative action. Look for them to give more power to police, more power to corporate America, more power. Because the small have decided that they can't win. This is more like guerrilla warfare. I'll just take the courts. So no matter what they say, this has always been the thing. This law, Roe versus Wade, had protected the woman's right to choose what to do with her body for almost 50 years. And they have decided that there was something they wanted. At a time when everybody, particularly on the right, is talking about the freedom. They wanted the freedom to not wear masks. They want the freedom to walk around with guns on all the time. They want the freedom to say whatever they want. Even Elon Musk supposedly bought Twitter for freedom, the freedom of speech. And those same people seek to take it from women and minorities and everybody who isn't them. Because this has been the game. Always been the game. And when people say, well, look, they didn't do this for me, so I'm not going to vote. Not voting is giving them this. Now they're going to be able to infringe on a woman's right. That is tens of millions of people. And you best believe it will not stop there. They're going to do what they can to criminalize as much as this is possible. To send people to jail for stuff like this. They're doing it right in front of this. This is turning to the Handmaid's Tale. And this has been the game all along. To disorient you, to disenfranchise you, to say, well, they're all the same, and then to do this. They don't care if you storm the Capitol. I want power. I don't care if you consult with white nationalists and white supremacists. I want power. I don't care if you molest children. I want power. I don't care if you disrespect women. I want power. No matter what you do, there's nothing that they're so abhorrent to. It's so abhorrent to them. They give it up in the quest of power. And this is why. They could have never done this. Most people in America, over 70%, believe in a woman's right to have an abortion. They don't want her to have one, but they believe she'd be able to. They have thwarted the will of the people, and they've done it through the courts. This is how this game is played. This is what they always wanted. They didn't care about Trump. They cared about getting judges. They cared about the Supreme Court, and they have an overwhelming majority in the Supreme Court. They didn't care how they got it. They didn't care that they took a Supreme Court nominee away from Barack Obama. This is the game. And not only are they potentially making a decision like this, they made sure that we knew it. This is the whole game. When you gerrymander and you cheat and you're willing to lie and steal and even kill like what happened at the Capitol, then you are not, that is not, and it is the minority of people feel this way. When the minority is controlling the majority, that is not how you govern, that is how you rule. There's a little note from the GED session. We've got a jazz report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.